Okay, so here we go. We're going to do example 3, and it says to find the values of x and y, all right? So in these types of questions, the first thing that you always need to do, whoopsie, all right? First thing that you always need to do is to go back and look to see where your two variables that are the same, all right? So I would notice that those two variables of 6x plus 30 and 4x plus 10 are the same. And so I have to ask myself now, well, what type of angles are they? So I see that they're a linear pair because they're splitting up the straight angle, all right, into two different angles. And so because I know that linear pairs are supplementary, I'm going to take 6x plus 30, add that to the 4x plus 10, and set it equal to 180 degrees. And now I solve it. So I'm going to get 10x plus 40 equals 180. I'm going to get 10x equals 140, which means x is equal to 14. So now there's two different ways to find y, right? You really could do it two different ways depending on which expression that you looked at. I'm going to now look at the 4x plus 10 and the y plus 1. Because what I'm going to notice is that these are vertical angles, and what I know is that vertical angles are congruent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 14 and I'm going to plug it in for that x right there and set it equal to the y plus 1 because the y plus 11 because they're vertical angles, and we know vertical angles are congruent. So I'm going to take y plus 11 equals 4 times 14 plus 10. And now I'm going to simplify that right-hand side. So I'm going to do 4 times 14 plus 10 gives me 66. So y plus 11 equals 66. I'm going to subtract out that 11, and I'm going to get y is equal to 55. So again, it all depends on where the same variables are inside one of those pictures, right? If it wasn't there where we were starting, we would maybe start with the vertical angles and then set them equal and then solve from there, okay? So that was the full group there. I'm going to jump right into the breakout group work, all right, so that we can work through these as well. So example 4 says line K and line H intersect. So I'm going to go ahead and draw these two lines. And it says angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical. Then it says that angle 1 and angle 3 are a linear pair. So I could actually put it either place. I'm going to put it up top there. All right, it doesn't really matter which one. So it says that angle 1 is 8x plus 6. And angle 2 is 12x minus 18. And what I need to do is I need to find the measure of angle 3. Okay? But before I can do that, what I'm going to first do is I'm going to notice that I have vertical angles, and vertical angles are congruent. So I'm going to set 8x plus 6 equal to 12x minus 18, and I'm going to solve. So I'm going to get negative 4x equals negative 24. And then I'm going to divide that out, and I'm going to get x is equal to 6. Now, the question that was asking me to find the measure of angle 3, right? And so I'm going to now just look at angle 1 and angle 3, and I'm going to notice that they're a linear pair, which means that they have to add up to equal 180. So my game plan here is I'm going to take the 6, and I'm going to plug it in, all right, for that expression for angle 1. And then from there, I'm going to take that measure and subtract it from 180 to find the measure of angle 3. So plugging in that 6, I'm going to get 8 times 6 plus 6, which gives me 48 plus 6, which is 54 degrees. So I know that this angle 1 is 54 degrees. And so then to find angle 3, like I said, because angle 1 and angle 3 have to add up to 180, I'm going to take 180, subtract out the 54, and I get 126. So the measure of angle 3 is equal to 126 degrees. All right, I'm going to pause there, and then I'm going to come back and do example 5 and example 6.